What's up, everybody? I'm TJ.
And I'm Kelsey, and we are
the Nashville Wine Duo.
All right, it's podcast time. It's 11 p.m. at night.
Ooh, we're doing a late night edition?
Doing a late night edition. Well, we both worked late at our jobs. Separately, though.
Separately?
Yeah, because normally we work together. Someone was talking to us about that recently. They couldn't figure out where we worked or what we do. And just to reiterate that.
Well, we try to keep it interesting, don't we?
Yeah. Well, we both work at Trader Joe's, but TJ works part of the time at Vintage Vine 100, which is a wine bar in Cool Springs.
Yeah, I work there a couple
Cool
times
Springs,
a week.
Franklin area. So, yeah. But I'm not going to lie, my body, so tonight they put me on, they call it dry produce. It's where you're lifting all the potatoes and the onions. And they had me closing that tonight. So he said, I want you to get like up the most massive amount.
Who's he?
Brett, he's the manager, said he wanted me to get the most amount ever to put up because people complain in the morning sometimes that we don't get enough done. So yeah, I haven't lifted anything that heavy in quite a while, like the apple boxes. No joke. And I started feeling this like sharp pain in my shoulder. And I was like, ow. And then someone was like, do you need aspirin? And I'm like, of course, everyone here has aspirin because we're all constantly lifting things all the time, but I refused.
Do you think that's heavier than a case of wine?
I think depending on what it is. I mean, like, I had a hard time, and it's because I'm short too, but it's hard with when you're putting stuff onto a flat cart and like you're trying to stack a box of like potatoes
You're using
on top.
all these terms, flat cart, to the average Joe doesn't know what the hell you're talking about.
They probably do. They can figure it out.
I wouldn't know what a flat cart is if I wasn't in the
I
biz.
remember I did say
end
end cap a couple times. Like
nobody knows what an end cap is.
No, and someone messaged me and they're like, "What's an end cap?" I'm like, I don't know who that is.
No, seriously, this lingo that has like Trader Joe's culture that your normal person doesn't know what.
They're in a flat cart. No one can figure out what that is. It's a cart that's flat that we put stuff on. But yeah, as I was trying to, I don't know. I wasn't properly lifting either. You're not supposed to lift like with your back.
No.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna get these lemons and put them up high, and I was like, oh, that wasn't good. Anyway, that was my night. You had a good night?
My night was slow. It was slow, so slow. It was a beautiful night too, but there was nobody out and about.
It's kind of cold out tonight.
Yeah, so.
And it's a Tuesday.
Yeah, not much going on in the world of wine out in Cool Springs, so had to come home to drink.
You had to come home to drink? Yeah, I was looking forward to coming home and having some of this wine with you. We tried it a little earlier today. We were actually trying to do the podcast earlier today, but we were having some sound problems.
Ran into some technical difficulties.
We were like, well, we both get off late, so why don't we just have some of the wine?
Do a late night edition.
Yeah, so
if you could see Kelsey right now, she is she's all bundled up in a Cubs blanket wrapped around her with headphones on. She looks like she's, I don't know, like
ready for bed.
Walking through the frigid blizzard Antarctica. She's got her hands wrapped with the blanket, and this visual is just it's pretty interesting.
All right, well, let's talk about the wine. So, did you pull up some information about this wine?
No, I did not. I do know that it is from the Grape Abduction Company, and I found them on Instagram, and it is GO, I think HC. I think that's their.
It's the same one. It's from Slovenia.
Yeah,
it's the same one from the other rosé we tried the other day.
The same guy.
Yeah. I think this wine, I don't know, right away the label just totally, we were attracted to it. We were getting help to find wine in Cool Springs Wine and Spirits to do a tasting for 2 people, and had a decent budget, so we went into Cool Springs Wine and Spirits, and we were gonna pick out 5 different wines we settled on, and just trying to get some from kind of all around. And this one, we heard of another rosé. What was it called?
Anna.
Anna.
The
Probably.
same person.
Yeah.
Or same
Or
winemaker, I
Anna.
mean. Anna, Anna.
It's a really, really good rosé, and it's made by the same exact in Slovenia.
Yep.
But I really like this wine. What do you like about it?
Well, the label's so cool.
The label is so cool.
This big spaceship with the light on the grounds.
Well, and it's got this like really pretty sunset, so it's like purple and pink. So the backdrop of the color of the wine behind the label, like you can tell that they thought about that. Like it's almost like the wine looks like it's a part of, like the wine inside looks like it's a part of the label, like the background.
And somebody told me like the winemaker, the guy that owns this wine label, is like really into rock and roll. So he tries to mix rock and roll and wine together.
So aliens are like,
and as I'm looking on this side of this bottle, it says Rose Blend, and it's crossed out, and then it says Awesome Mix Volume 2. So they almost made it like a cassette I don't know about alien and music, or something, but
it does kind of have an album cover kind of look, like you
does.
could picture it being like an album, like cool album cover. But I don't know. I love like the whole alien thing. I've been calling it the alien wine. They have other wines that have some of these like really cool.
This is a dry rosé,
mm-hmm.
but I'm getting like watermelon. I even, call me crazy, but maybe even a little bit, a hint of peach.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
I get strawberries for sure.
Strawberries, yep.
But it is really dry. Kind of floral too. Yeah, but very like fruity. I don't know. I just really, really like it. And it's a 1 liter bottle, which is nice because it's like a little bit more wine for the amount you're going to pay. And this averages around like $16 to $18.99. So you're really getting like a bottle and a half. And we posted about it on our Instagram, and I noticed that Hezi, the winemaker, I don't know if you saw his comment.
Yep.
He said that they don't make
1 liter bottles
in the US.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. So I don't know. I just felt like it was cool to get this size bottle for that price.
Yeah. Hezi is the winemaker over at Three Sisters in Dahlonega, Georgia,
yes.
One of the vineyards that we visited. So what up, Hezi?
Yeah. But I don't know. This is a great. I think that it's available at a couple different places around town.
It's got a high rating on the Vivino app too.
Yeah. Well, somebody from work told me they saw it at I want to say like turnip truck, something like that. Turnip truck. Yeah, and then I think it's at Cool Springs Wine and Spirits, and then I think it's at the bottle shop too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we usually will shop at the bottle shop or Cool Springs Wine and Spirits, because we live right near both those places. So
this is also an organic wine. I don't know if you knew that, babe.
Yep, and vegan, organic. Yeah, sitting at 11.5% alcohol. And the interesting thing is, it's imported by J.P. Burgios in Nashville, North Carolina, which we know him.
We know him?
Yeah.
Do we really?
Yep. He follows us
on
our Instagram page. Yeah,
wow.
he's a wine distributor.
Okay, you sounded a little.
No, I'm saying like I had no idea.
He follows us on our Instagram page.
I just had no idea he was doing
I know,
that.
It was like the tone and the voice and the way you said.
No, I'm just saying I didn't know he did that.
It was like a bridesmaids moment.
Listen.
It was a bridesmaids moment.
Day.
Yeah, we know him. We know the owner. Oh, do you? Oh, do you? You know the owner?
I was just saying, I didn't know he did that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm surprised you didn't know. I bet you and him are pretty good friends.
No.
Call him up after this.
Oh, jeez.
Teasing.
Jeez. Yeah, so fans of this rosé, and like Kel said, we also tried the other rosé for our tasting that we did for Darcy and Danny this past week.
Darcy and Danny,
from Georgia.
They were so sweet.
They came up to Nashville just to do a wine tasting with us for Darcy's birthday. So
yeah,
That
We had
was
a
fun.
blast with them. We had so much fun. They got it was kind of interesting though. So the birthday party, the two of them, and us, and they got a place downtown, and we parked and then we went into the building, and she was like, Danny was like, yeah, so this entire building is an Airbnb. And we were like, what? So it's like huge skyrise, and she was like, you can totally tell, and like for sure enough, like all the people going out of the building, you were told they were there to party,
Oh
like
yeah,
that was what it was about. I'm like, oh my gosh, I just like, I don't even know how that's legal. I guess that you can
but
get
it
a
looked
whole
like
building.
an apartment complex that was just all Airbnbs.
It looked like a hotel at the same time, though.
But I'm saying it was an
Yeah,
apartment or whatever the hell you want to call it. Like there was
yeah,
tons of room, so there it just looked like, but they were all Airbnbs.
yeah. But we were talking about that, like who cleans? I guess I don't know.
Well, you got to hire people
You
to
probably
do
have to
that.
hire people to clean each thing, but I don't know. It was kind of crazy. We went down there and there was somebody playing. Who was playing? Garth Brooks was playing that night.
Not at the Airbnb,
No, not the Airbnb.
at Nissan
Downtown. I'm talking about
Stadium.
downtown.
Oh, okay.
It was just crazy. It's always crazy down there. But anyway, we went and we
That was a different kind of crazy traffic wise. That was insane.
well, we'll get to that point. But it was really fun. Like we had this, overview of the city, and um just got to talk to them about their lives and learn more about them. They live in Georgia too, so they're really close to all these wineries that we talk about that they've all been to. Been going for years. So, but it was just I had a blast hanging out with them, getting to know them. We've followed each other for like 2 years, so it's awesome when you finally get to meet people and put a face in like face in real time.
Yeah, definitely get to talk face to face and hang out
Yeah,
in real life.
and then they invited us to come along with them to dinner afterward. You want to tell them about that?
Yeah, so they picked a place in East Nashville called Pelican and Pig, and we had
Mm,
never been there before.
amazing.
We checked out the wine menu, and they had some really, really cool wine: Mourvedre,
Mm-hmm.
Muscadet,
Mm-hmm.
Cab Franc, um, what else? A Carmenere. So they have their wine menus pretty stacked, and they had good cocktails, and the food was unbelievable.
It was so good. And I've said this to TJ so many times. I think the key to like really, really good food is just good seasoning.
Salt and pepper,
Well,
baby.
and I mean they had other seasonings too, but it was just
No,
the
I
food
know.
was seasoned so well, and I just think that that makes like a world of difference if it's seasoned really, really, really well. And what was your favorite thing that we got?
The corn ribs.
Yeah, tell
Explain what those
no,
corn
you
ribs are.
explain what they
No.
are. No,
It's like they took the center of the corn, like a whole ear of corn, they cored it and they left some of the husk on, not the husk, that's the wrong word.
no
The
husk.
center of the corn.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what that's called. But they cored the corn and left it on a little bit so you could like eat it like on the ear. But
Yeah.
it looked like a rib, like it was kind of like
But it was like
U-shaped.
small. It was like the
Yeah,
size of a rib. Like it was like I've never like eaten corn shaped that way, but it was like perfect for like just yeah, eating with your
like a little
finger.
squirrel just like gnawing
Yeah.
on a corn rib.
But man, the flavor was just
It was unbelievable. Yeah, so good.
unbelievable. And it's cool because in the middle of the restaurant, it's like an open concept. So like the kitchen's like kind of in the center. We weren't right next to it, but it's in the center, and you can just see that everything's over like a fire, like
A
it
lot
was
of wood burning
burning
fire
fire.
action going on.
Yeah. The potatoes were outstanding.
Yeah, they had like a lime herb sauce that
Oh
came with
gosh.
these potatoes. That was great.
Yeah. I was actually mentioning it to customers tonight, and one lady was like, I feel like I remember trying to go there and I couldn't get in because I didn't have a reservation. And I feel like that's kind of common at this place. So
Yeah, because we had a
Pelican and
reservation.
Pig, make a reservation, East Nashville. Like you seriously will. That was gone down as one of my favorite places I've eaten in Nashville. And
Really?
yeah, for sure. I
Well, we
mean,
were saying too, it's almost not tapas style, but tapas style. Like we just ordered a bunch of,
hmm
I don't even know if they would call them appetizers
small
or
plates.
sides, small plates,
Yeah.
and we all just kind of shared. We had like I don't know 6 or 7 small plates going on,
Yeah.
and then they ordered this huge. Our friends ordered this huge pork chop
Oh
that
my
was
gosh.
the
Yeah.
size of like
It was really big. It's
Alaska.
perfect for the
It
two
was
of them to share
huge, and they
it.
didn't even finish it.
Yeah.
They ended up
And then
taking some
birthday girl ordered us all a bunch of shots.
tequila
She was like,
shots,
shots, shots.
shots. Felt like Little John.
And I was like, for a while, I was like, no, 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 I'm not taking one, not taking one. And then I ended up taking one at the end. And it was actually really good. It was smooth. It didn't bother me. It was really smooth tequila.
Yeah. It was a good tequila. I don't even remember what it was. But it was fun.
I don't even remember.
I don't remember which brand of tequila
I
it
don't
was.
know. They always just say stuff, and I'm like, okay, cool. So
yeah.
the owner was the one that was actually our server, so I trusted everything he was saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then leaving.
Driving home,
Oh my
we got
gosh.
stuck in Garth Brooks traffic. We didn't move for 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Like move. Like we didn't even roll forward.
No.
Cops just had us sitting there for a half hour, 45 minutes. I was getting so frustrated. Finally, we moved and then slowly made our way back to drop them off at their Airbnb apartment, fortress,
Yeah, but
hotel.
wow, driving around downtown when there's a concert, definitely don't recommend it. We don't really go down there that much anyway. It was interesting to hear their perspective too, and I actually talked to two other people that are from Atlanta, and they had said this too. Darcy and Danny were just like that. Atlanta is very like eclectic and
Diverse.
and just like more culture and everything like that. And I do there is a like let's all admit like downtown Nashville is it's Nash Vegas. Like it's if you want to go and you want to party and a girl this is what she said to me today. She's like it's the culture is drinking downtown. And I would agree with that.
Yes.
And she said in Atlanta she feels like there's just like more to it than just like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I would agree. I would agree with that. I mean, but I just think it's kind of turned into that from
Nashville has become a party city.
yeah, and it's like the bachelorette destination
Yeah.
too.
It's party
So
city. Party city
that's why
USA.
I think it's cool. Like we talked a couple podcasts ago when we went to like 60 Vines, like that Fifth and Broadway area.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's kind of shifting it a little bit from just this like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
From like I don't know. It's a little nicer,
Mm-hmm.
but still, it's not a place that we really.
We go down there when we are meeting people or have friends in town. But other than that, we kind of stay in our little Franklin bubble.
Yeah.
But I like our Franklin bubble.
Yeah, but I do kind of wish, like, if we were in a town, like, in a state that we be by a city that, like, has more of what they're kind of talking about.
Oh, yeah.
And I do think that maybe a lot of it is just that Nashville it's not a very old city.
Mm.
I mean, it's really not. I mean, it used to just be a couple streets, like, that you would know, like, Demumbrian, Broadway. Like,
they call Atlanta the LA of the South.
Now,
because there's so much going on. Like there's traffic. I mean, traffic in Atlanta, that's no joke.
Yeah.
We're sitting here bitching about Nashville traffic. Atlanta's like a whole nother thing.
I'm not bitching about Nashville traffic.
Oh, I am.
Well, yeah,
Nashville
I guess downtown
fun,
when the Garth Brooks concert, but that's,
Yeah, but normally Nashville's got some bad traffic, but nothing like Atlanta. Nothing like LA. That's for sure.
I have never been to LA, so I don't
know.
know.
I'm going to take you.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But yeah, that was a really fun time. Definitely go to Pelican and Pig if you get a chance.
We recommend Pelican and Pig.
Highly recommend. Sure. Like, wow, so good.
Yeah.
But,
next week we're doing an interview and wine dinner with Black Diamond Culinary.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be there Wednesday, so we've put that on our social medias. I think tickets are still available.
You know more about this than I do.
I know. That's because
he does
I'm
the
schedule.
Boss. No.
I'm the big boss man.
You do the schedule because I'm
the boss.
All right. Okay.
Tell you where to go and where to be.
Is that like is that a Kermit?
Put a smile on your face, kid.
Sweetie, that voice is crazy. No.
Why do you think all my voices are crazy?
That voice was crazy.
That was not that crazy. Put a smile on your face, kid.
That sounds scary.
We're gonna start a true crime.
No,
podcast.
Okay, you're done. You're done. Gotta cut you off. Maybe it's not too much wine. But yeah, we're doing that next week. So tell me, can you give me a little more information about this?
I just said it's next Wednesday.
Okay.
We're going there to interview the owner, Chris, the chef, and we're going to be a part of her. She's doing Spanish wines and
Mm,
a bunch of appetizers,
I
and we're
love
going to
Spanish wines.
do a little podcast video and all that fun stuff. So people can come out. I think there's tickets left. They're $55 and have a wonderful wine and food pairing. So
Yeah. Yeah. And we've had people ask to, like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people have been asking lately, like, what our goals are, or like where we're headed, or like what we're trying to do with the Nashville Wine Duo.
yeah.
No, really, that's been
No, I
asked a
know.
lot in the
I
past
know.
like
People
couple
ask us.
months.
Yeah.
And kind of our answer is like we kind of just have our hands in a lot of things. I would say, wouldn't you?
Well,
We
yeah. I
have from the
mean,
beginning though. That's
yes, but they're all kind of
they're all wine
wine
related,
focused, wine
definitely.
industry, wine. I mean, at the end of the day, you and I want to be traveling around to vineyards and wineries and
Yeah.
wine events and wine festivals, and
But
we.
we've been asked like, do you want to be sommeliers? Do you want
Oh
to
yeah, no,
all that kind of stuff? Do you want to own your own vineyard?
no.
Um, no, I don't. I mean, I would love to own my own vineyard, but
Oh
I mean,
yeah, me
gosh, that
too.
would be no. I mean,
Yeah,
at the same time, I just don't know if that's ever going to be feasible for us in our life. Um, but I think more than anything, we want to be able to just continue to share good wine with with everybody.
yeah,
Yeah, like
and
that
also showcase fun wine events and
fun wine
fun wine
events
people
and
and
people,
people that
and
love wine. And I think you and I really enjoy interviewing people.
we really enjoy
We like.
people. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's why I think like
but we like
yeah.
hanging out and talking wine and
Yeah.
showcasing wine, and
So I
so
still think we're figuring out where this thing is going to go, but I think when we see an opportunity, we go for it. You know, we knock on doors, and somehow it all keeps tying into it together because it is all about wine. So it's fun, and it's about wine. It's about people. It's about building relationships, and I think
yeah,
that's kind of where
building a
our
community that
hearts
loves
are.
wine.
And maybe one of the things that we have our hands in will end up being the big thing. I don't know, but
Yeah,
for now, it's just our passion, and we love it. And that's why, yeah, we're visiting wineries, we're doing wine reviews, we're doing the podcast, we're doing the Instagram, we're, yeah, anything that's wine that's fun. And yeah, that's kind of, what would you say?
I think you said it all.
You think I'm talking too much? You're giving me
No,
that face.
no, it's good.
Yeah. But before we go off, I like sharing these like stories that happen at Trader Joe's sometimes.
Do it.
Yeah, because that is a big part of my heart is people, and I think that is why that job has worked out so well for both of us for so long, because we're both just like we're both extroverts, and I think that we feel like we've been able to pour into people there in ways that we both never thought. I don't know if I'm speaking for you,
Speak, baby.
um but yeah, I've talked before about other stories where we can give people flowers and over whatever's going on in their life. And there was a woman, she came through my line, and we're just talking just nonchalant about her life. She's buying all this stuff, and she said, there's just a lot going on in my life right now. Like my daughter's getting married soon. She's, it's a big wedding. I've got 4 other kids at home. I'm going to pick them up from soccer practice, dropping them off. And she said my father just went blind, like can't see anymore. And she's like, so I'm taking care of him. He's living with us now. And she said my husband works like in travel, so I'm doing all this by myself. And she wasn't even like talking about it like, oh, like poor me or anything. She was actually like legit. It was like the most like normal way to talk about it. Like it was just talking about her life,
Mm-hmm.
and in a very nonchalant way, just explaining what's going on in her life. Because I kept probing her and being like, "Oh wow, that's a lot that's going on." And so we're just talking, and I was just thinking about how this woman is just doing so much stuff, and how I was like, man, do people see you and like what you're doing? You're just doing everything for everybody else all the time, and does anybody just stop and be like, I see you, So yeah, and the whole conversation was very normal, and we were very friendly. And then I was just like, I'm just gonna get her some flowers because I just want to, tell her she's doing a good job. And so I went and got the flowers, and I brought them over, and I was just like, I just want you to know, like, you are awesome, and I know that you are doing so much stuff right now, and I want to tell you, you're doing a great job. and she just lost it. She was like, "Thank you so much." She's like, "I don't even know what to say." She's like, she's just like, she's like, "I'm just crying," and it was just sweet, and I just felt like I saw her in that moment, and I acknowledged that, and yeah. So for anybody out there that's feeling like that, like, I hope that you feel acknowledged even by this right now, me telling the story. Like, if you're feeling like this, like, you're doing a good job. If you got the weight of the world on you and like no one's telling you, that you're doing a good job, you're doing a good job. Because yeah, I know a lot of us feel like that, and people don't often tell us. So if that helps you, I hope it does.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
It's that video on TikTok, wherever it is, and it's like, girl, you doing a good job. Girl, you doing a good job.
Yeah.
Well said, baby.
Thank you. Well, cheers.
Cheers on that note. We're going to end on a high note.
Yeah.
Words of wisdom by Kelsey.
Oh, well. I don't know about that, but love ya.
Thanks for listening. Love you too, baby. Cheers.
Cheers.
See you next time.